Welcome back to Harbor. Was Republican Senate candidate Joe Miller using his security detail to shut down reporters? Tony Hopfinger is the editor of the online news magazine Alaska Dispatch. He was handcuffed and arrested by a member of Senate candidate Joe Miller's security team when he was trying to ask Miller, the candidate, a question following a town hall event. And Tony Hopfinger is here with us today right now. Tony, thank you so much for joining us. As a reporter, give us a report on this arrest by this group of, I didn't know you could arrest somebody, this group of characters that worked for the candidate.
Yeah, thanks for having me tonight. The name of this security firm is called Drop Zone. We had no idea that these guys were part of Joe Miller's posse. But anyway, they actually had active duty soldiers working for them. So those are some of the people that were involved in my arrest. I was simply trying to ask Mr. Miller some questions that he admitted to on yesterday on CNN about his employment with the Fairbanks Borough and whether he had been politicking on Borough Town when he was an attorney there.
Yeah.
He made that admission yesterday.
Well, let me ask you about what you did. What was it that sprung these guys into action? We're looking at the footage here. It's a little rough to figure out what's going on. Narrate this for us if you can, Tony. What was it that you were doing at the time these guys jumped you, put handcuffs on you, and detained you for 20 minutes before the police got there?
Right. I asked Mr. Miller a question while he was still in the auditorium of this public school. He did not answer the question and started walking away. I followed him into the hallway, continued to ask the question. He answered one of the questions, and then when I was trying to ask the second, he just turned around and went the other direction. Suddenly I was surrounded by these, I guess, security guards. They didn't identify themselves as that, as well as Miller supporters, and quickly I was being chest bumped, etc. Essentially, I mean, if there's any assault here, it was on me. They illegally detained me. Miller's version of events, and there's not even been an apology from this campaign.
Why did you let them put handcuffs on you? Couldn't you resist them?
I could have resisted them. I didn't know what was going on. I kept asking them if they were police officers, even if they were off-duty police officers. I'm trying to be respectful here. I know what the line is. I've been doing journalism for a while, and these guys almost was like they were looking for a fight.
Well, let me ask you about this context. First of all, did you do anything that justify, and if you get into court against these guys, I'm not asking if you're going to sue them or anything, but if you get into court to them on a question of fact, will they be able to say you were operating in any way beyond the pale? Any way that beyond, say, a Sam Donaldson, aggressive reporter, a Maria Shriver, anybody that's worked a rope line and tries to grab the attention of a politician? Did you do anything beyond that?
Absolutely not.
Okay, well, let's get to the point here. What is Joe Miller's campaign about? What are you guys working on? You're trying to prove, it seems to me, or everybody up there is trying to prove, that at some point when he was holding a local office up there, he used that local office to campaign against somebody in the Republican Party as part of his Tea Party activities, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Just like Sarah Palin did not, probably still does not like our Alaska Republic Party chairman, Randy Rudrick, Miller apparently was using computers in some kind of capacity, is the accusation, and was reprimanded while he was working for this borough. He said some kind of polling activity. He used multiple computers at the borough. Yeah, we filed a lawsuit about 7-8 days ago. In fact, there was a hearing on it today. I'm still getting reports of what happened at the hearing. We've asked for the release of these records so that we can find out what happened. In fact, at one point, Mr. Miller said over the summer he'd be willing to release records, reverse course. He doesn't want to answer questions about his background anymore. He's singling out our news organization as being unfair.
What do you make of his charge that we should use Stasi or Vopos from East Germany, those kinds of people, to patrol our border? I mean, we don't know what Vopos were. They're shoot-on-sight guys from the... Let's take a look at what he had to say. This is pretty strong stuff.
East Germany was very, very able to reduce the flow. Now, obviously, there are other things were involved, but we have the capacity as a great nation to obviously secure a border. If East Germany could do it, we could do it.
Other things are involved. People were trying to escape from the communist world into the West, and they were killing them on sight along this long... I was over there during the Berlin Wall coming down. I'm telling you, it's pretty scary. Do you think he's just tone deaf, that he would actually compare the United States government need to protect our border with the communist Iron Curtain need to protect the Iron Curtain?
It's hard to say, Chris. He won't talk to the media. You know, Mr. Miller wants... just to be able to talk to the people and not talk to reporters. Okay. He says we're the ones at fault. So there's I don't know.
Well, if you don't sue these guys, I think you're crazy. That's my view. Anyway, I can't imagine being arrested by a bunch of characters working for some politician who's not even in office and putting handcuffs on you.
Yeah, I think there's two key points here that have come out in the last 24 hours. One is, a couple of these guys were active duty soldiers. They didn't maybe even have approval to be working for the security firm. The second, the security firm apparently wasn't licensed in the state of Alaska to be doing security. So I don't know how Mr. Miller hooked up with these guys, why he felt he needed force, but
let's bring in Claire. Thanks so much.